Good afternoon. I'm up at a small place called Baluk in Strzelecki Ranges, Tarabulga Visitor Centre. Setting off to do a walk called the Mount Tassie Circuit, or Mount Tassie Loop. It's part of the Grand Strzelecki Trail. I haven't done it for a while. It's an interesting loop. There's a bit of forestry land, some very old growth forests, some nice cool temperate rainforest. So there's a bit of everything. I'm fairly late in the day. It's had a lot of trouble getting out of Melbourne. There's a lot of roadworks and accidents. But anyway, we'll truck on. It's about 16 k's this one. There's a fair bit of climbing. All right, I'll spin the camera around and show you what I'm looking at. So, like I mentioned, this walk goes through a bit of plantation land. It's kind of partly funded by, I think the company's HVP, it's plantation timber. It's also Tarabulga National Park, and there might be some state forest as well, I'm not too sure. Anyway, we'll see what the day brings. It should be the rest of the day. It's about 3:30 already, but there should be some good views. There's a lot of wind around, I don't know if you can hear, so might be slightly less commentary on this video than normal, but that could be a good thing. All right, I'll get on with it. So, the spots that haven't been logged are pretty fucking amazing down in the Strzelecki Ranges. The logging areas are a bit of a monoculture as usual, but you know, you can't have everything, I suppose. But it's mostly the gullies. These gullies that haven't been logged are very pretty. So I'm just climbing a bit to the spot where I swing left and start the circuit bit of the walk. This track is very leachy when it's wet. Hopefully today, hasn't rained for a couple of days. Hopefully today it's okay. It's definitely Jurassic though, through here. So cloud comfort wise, it's mid-20s down in the valley, down AllTrails Valley, but up here it was 16 when I left the ute. Another couple of hours when I hit Mount Tassie, it'll be a fair bit colder than that up there in the wind too. Alright, this is my track junction where I swing left up here. I think I'll come back from the right. Oh. Yeah, Mount Tassie, so I'll come back from up there. I'm heading down here now. Now I'm going to start dropping into plantation land soon. And I'll be dropping steeply for a little while. Alright, better get on with it, I guess. Yeah, I hope there's not too much more of that. I don't want to go full on feral scrub bash because they will pick up leeches. It's slow work crawling over those trees though. So that's where I'm heading to. That's Mount Tassie. Okay, noted. In case you're thinking things are a little bit ad hoc, it's mainly, I think it's funded a little bit by the the plantation company. It's also, there was a lot of state government grants and everything went into this, but it's basically a community kind of managed track, this one. I think the genesis of it was the big bushfires in early 2010, whenever it was, the big one. And this was part of the grant to like pour some money back into the community. But yeah, we're not talking national park or state park like markings and kind of facilities. But in my experience on walking these tracks, they're pretty good. So that's obviously plantation, that's been felled over there. Actually both sides, I mean that's just a bit older. That's eucalypt plantation on my right. So, first snake of the day. So, this little waterfall is just off the track. It's quite pretty. It's a little bit scrubby and unloved, the track in here though. It's in a little gorge. So I'm in the plantation area at the moment, and because it's in this gorge, I suppose that's why it escaped the logging. But yeah, the track itself is, this is it. It's a little bit rough. So it's only 50 metres from the main track. But yeah, just keep an eye out for snakes if you come here. It's worth a little detour though. Yeah, but just be careful of snakes. And if it was wet, I reckon it'd be leechy. So this is actually a fairly nice section of the walk. I'm contouring around, well, more or less contouring around the side of this ridge. Mount Tassie's way up to my right. There's plantation country down there, but you can't see it for a lot of the time because there's some old growth between me and it. There's a glimpse of it down there. So I'll follow this track from memory for a while, and then I'll swing onto a walking track and start climbing, and I'll climb for a long way then. Basically, once I leave this track, I climb all the way to the top of Mount Tassie. Yeah, it's going to be windy when I get up out of these trees. So there's been quite a few of these little creeks flowing down. I probably wouldn't be drinking them, but I mean, in an emergency, I suppose you could treat it. I haven't got far now until I leave this track and start climbing. There's another one of these nice little cascades. Just a short side trip off the track. Once again, watch out for snakes. So that last waterfall was West Faced Falls, apparently. Okay, this is where I leave this management track. Climbing up now to the road. I'm not sure if it's Baluch Road or it's the road I drove up from the Latrobe Valley. I'll cross that and then start the last push to the summit. Okay, I've met that road that I was waffling on about. I cross over here and head up there. That's Mount Tassie. So I'm pretty well out of the trees from here for a while. It's kind of bare, grassy hills. Okay, I think this is the top. There's actually two kind of high points on the ridge, I think. So I'll have a look when we get to the top. It might be a little bit clearer. It's Hayden's chair. Very nice. There's even a bit of a wind shelter up here. Wonder why. Black Saturday 2009 is when this place burnt. So that's the Latrobe Valley. I think that's Goin power station. Okay, maybe you can hear me for a sec. I'm sheltered by the building. I reckon that summit over there might be slightly higher. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm up on a ridge now for a while. Well, back in the trees now so I can talk a bit. That was so windy up the top there. Obviously this is all plantation forest there. I'll get into some more of that cool temperate rainforest again soon, which is really nice. So, I think this is old Calagny Road. Calagny was one of the big names of one of the big fires, and that came through here, Clagny Fire. Interesting, this isn't on the AllTrails map. It goes a shorter way by an old fire track, but this is the route of the circuit. So it'll be a little bit longer walk than the AllTrails version, but I'm not sure if the AllTrails version goes through that old growth temperate rainforest down here, so I'm going to go this way because I know it's a good walk. I'm pushing a bit for daylight. I was very late starting this walk, but I think I'll be right. I've got about 2 hours of light left. The size of this tree, or this old stump. So those hiking poles, 1.35 meters. Gives you some idea of the diameter of this thing. So I'm following the Duff Sawmill Heritage Trail, I think. This is that other big tree on the sign on the other side of the road here. All right, I'll leave Clagny Road here. Head bush. All right, back in the good stuff now. This is why I wanted to walk this bit and not follow the shortcut on AllTrails. It's very nice. Well, I'll try and get across with the camera on. Yeah, more or less made it with a dry foot. So judging by that old pipe, this must be a very, very old logging road. Okay. This is where the AllTrail route comes in. Oh, that looks pretty swampy too. So I'm back on I was on the official route, but the AllTrails and the Grand Strzelecki Track route are back together again now. Looks like I'm getting into an area of an old logging coop again. Okay, I followed this road for 100 metres or so. Back onto some single track. For a walk that features a lot of forestry land, it's also got some amazing forested sections. Well, that was right in the zone of aggravation. Dirty knees now. $225 kilograms, eh? I think I'm right, just. So I'm heading up to cross the main road again. Now, going to be touch and go. I'm going to get back just on dark, I think. It's pretty dark down in those gullies. It's a little bit brighter as you climb a bit higher. There's certainly a bit of vert in this walk. Okay, crossing back over the road. Probably got about 40 minutes to go. Probably got about 50 minutes before it gets dark. Now, it's getting a bit late, but it's a nice time of the night to be walking. I've pretty well finished the climbing, maybe a little bit more. There's a wallaby up there. You can hear the wind in the trees now. I'm back on the ridge. Looks like it could rain, but I don't think it's meant to rain. All right, this is my loop completed. So I headed off down there a few hours ago. Just got to walk back to Baluk now and the Ute. Baluk, I guess it is. Oh, it's dark in there. Have to break out the head torch soon. Okay, just crossing the road again, heading up to the visitor centre. I mean, you could walk the road if you wanted to. Trying to remember where the track is, actually. I think it's down here. So, I think the AllTrails route starts down this road here. Obviously it's closed, so I started up at the visitor centre, which according to this sign is 350 metres away. That's uphill though. Okay, I'm back, just on dark. Better spin the camera around and sign off, before it gets completely dark. That's the visitor centre down behind my ute. Okay, I'm hiding behind the ute, trying to keep out of the wind. That walk came to just under 20 k's. At the moment it's saying 19.8 and about 430 metres climbing. Check the slide at the end. I suspect that climbing will go up to around 600 or 700 metres. The distance is about right. The AllTrails map is okay, but it starts at a place that looks like it's closed down near the old suspension bridge. So I started up at the visitor centre, which added a bit of distance. And the AllTrails map also kind of tracks along a forward drive track past a logging, like an old logging coupe, rather than go down through some, like an old ferny gully with some cool temperate rainforest. So yeah, I stayed on the official track. Speaking of the official track, I've got the Grand Strzelecki map for the Mount Tassie Loop. You can buy them online, and at the occasional map shop you can probably get them in the visitor centre behind me during office hours, I guess. I bought the maps a while ago. I've walked here quite a few times. Part of the money from the map goes to the upkeep of the trail, because like I said, it's a community-based trail. And having said that, the trail is a little bit rougher than you would find sometimes, but I find it really good. There's a lot of single track for a community-led track. And it's pretty adventurous. The signposting isn't the generic standard, you know, national park, state forest signposting. It's a little bit more kind of agricultural, but I like it. I reckon it's good. I'll probably get down here again next year and do another loop, because there's a few you can do out of here. All right, this is going to be a long video, so I better get in the ute. It's freezing cold now too, so I'm going to get in the ute and warm up. I will catch you on the next one.